I'm gonna put this down now. Ask and you shall receive. So says the Bible, so say I. Welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm so happy that you're here going through this journey with me. I want to first give a huge shout out to everyone who has been subscribing, everyone who has been liking and commenting. I really appreciate it. I want to give a special shout out to Simply Whitney. Go check out her page too. It's pretty dope. And to Shanice Nicole, who have been watching every single video and commenting and liking. Like, y'all a real MVP, baby. But anyways, I really look forward to hearing from more of you guys, some more feedback. But this purpose of this video is simply to tell you guys the story of how we met. So follow me back in time to circa 1999. So a little over 20 years ago. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. There's some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. I was a little bit crazy. Can you tell? So, back in 1999, I was growing up in one town and my friends were growing up in another. And when I was there, I had a neighbor that I absolutely loved. She was like my BFF. We hung out all the time. And she had a boyfriend. And I was like, I want a boyfriend too. And because I wanted a boo so badly, she was like, well, my guy has a friend and maybe you guys can like hook up. So her guy gave me his friend's phone number. Now, this was before social media, so wasn't nobody Facebook and Snapchat and YouTube and Instagram, and nobody wasn't no TikTok, wasn't even no MySpace at the time. We just had to organically meet each other. We had to go outside, we had to play, we had to know people, we had to have interpersonal skills. And so my friend gave me her friend's phone number. I was talking to him for like a few weeks and oh my gosh, you could not tell me this was not forever. I was like, I love him. So after weeks of talking on the phone, and my mama was strict, like our phone couldn't even ring after 10 o'clock. If my house phone rang after 10 p.m., my mother literally had around her neck, would sleep with it, a police bell that she would just pick up the phone and ring into the receiver because nobody was supposed to be calling after 10 o'clock. So I only could talk for certain periods of time after school. And one day we decided that we would meet up at the park. And so my stomach was in knots. I was like, is he going to think that I'm cute enough? I mean, obviously I was 150 pounds lighter. But I'm like, is he going to think I'm cute enough? Is this going to work? I've never seen him before. This is totally a blind date. We ain't have no FaceTime. And so I was organically meeting this person for the very first time. We all get to my neighbor and her boyfriend and this guy, we all get to the park together. I'm so excited to finally see him. I see him, and for the purposes of this video, we'll call him D, because I don't want him out here after 21 years. I haven't talked to him since. I get to the park, we all meet up, I see D, and it was like, excitement gone. Totally unattracted to this person altogether. He was not my type. Somebody's type, maybe eventually, but not mine at all. But even back then, I did not have the heart to crush anybody. And so we still hung out that day. And then I talked to him on the phone. And so my plan was to talk to him a little bit and then a little bit less. And then a little bit less. And that was like the 90s version of ghosting. So one day I called him and he was really, really cool because he had a phone in his room, like his own phone line. And so I called his phone and someone else picked up. This person that picked up had a different charisma, kind of like a hood swagger. And so I was like, who is this? And he was like, oh, D is outside right now. Like, can I take a message, whatever. And I was just like, no. And we just, on the phone, in that moment, on D's line, started chatting. And he was saying stuff that was funny. He was kind of roasting D from the window. And I thought that was funny because, I really wanted to roast him. And so we just kind of connected right from there. After that phone call, during that phone call, he was like, yo, can I get your number? I was like, yeah, you can, because you already know I was gone from this situation anyway. Fast forward to a couple weeks and then a month and then a couple more weeks later, we was like really vibing. We were really hitting it off. We met each other and we got a kick out of each other. We thought we were funny and interesting and fun and attractive, and our friends ended up linking up, and that was cool. My brother and sister are about 10 years older than I am, so my sister started picking them up, giving them rides to our house, and before you knew it, I was his girlfriend, he was my boyfriend, and we was all together, and it was beautiful puppy love, whatever love could be at 12 and 13 years old, going into 14 and 13, because he was a year older than I. Now, let L tell this story. Obviously, the person on the phone is L. Let L tell this story, and he would say, yo, I stole you from my mans. He's not really aware that I was already ready to go. Point is, after that time, like, we really became really good friends, and we were together for about 1.5 years, which, like I said before, is practically marriage for young teeny boppers trying to start something way too adult for themselves. But we would go to like teen parties and concerts and stuff together, and he would always look out for me. He would always have my back, would never make me feel uncomfortable about what I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do, because I really wasn't into the actual physical pieces of what a relationship would talk about. And he would never pressure me in that way, but he always was like really down to earth, really chill. And even though he and I lived very separate lives, I was very sheltered, he had a lot more freedom than I. He really understood who I was, and I understood him on a high level. And so from there, we just really became best friends. Obviously, we ended up breaking up and then getting back together and then breaking up again throughout high school and then through my college years. We went separate ways, and life took us in different directions. And we ended up being a long distance relationship. But as we matured, we realized, you know what, this is something that we might want to try. And that's how we ended up to where we are today. But overall, in a nutshell, we just have been really good friends, understanding each other, keeping each other's secrets, being down for each other, and having each other's back since we were 12 years old. Now we're 20 years later, and we're literally the same people. Every time we get on the phone, it seems like the first time we got on the phone, and I was like, who is this person? He's so exciting. And there's something beautiful to say about somebody who excites you on a high level after 20 years. Every conversation is intriguing. We never run out of things to say. We always make each other laugh, and we kind of read each other's mind, which is interesting. But that's how we met. We met over the phone, met up in a park, and then never separated from then. Thank you for being interested in this story. Let me know in the comments if you want to know more about us as a couple. And I know some of you have expressed interest in knowing, why the heck doesn't he know we were broken up? I would love to tell you that piece of the story. I have a few people who are really interested in joining us on some of these videos. So I will have some guests popping up here and there. And maybe there will be more to come, more interesting pieces of who I am, what I do, and why I'm going through this journey. I really hope that this backstory helps you to understand where we're going in this process. And I just want you to know that I love you much, but God loves you most. And I have someone who is super eager to say hello. Thanks for coming into my channel. Talk soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Someone subscribe.
Subscribe.